Hello everybody, welcome to another video. So today we're in a 2005 Kia Picanto, and the problem with this car is that it has an intermittent no crank no start problem. So basically sometimes it cranks and starts, sometimes it doesn't basically. So I think I already know what the problem with this car is, so in this video I'm just going to try to explain to you why I think it is what it is, and then also take you through me doing the repair. Okay, so if I turn on the ignition, what happens is, like, sometimes this immobiliser light comes on, in which case it starts. So if I try it now, it should start. So it hasn't got a rev counter, I'm afraid, but I hope you heard it start. It has started, it's running now. So if I try switching it off and on a few times, let me see if I can recreate the problem. So I'm just trying putting the key in and out of the ignition, turning the ignition on and off. Basically what sometimes happens is this immobiliser light doesn't come on. And when that happens, it doesn't start. So let me try it a few more times, see if I can make it happen. Aha, great. So see, now the light hasn't come on, and now you're hopefully going to hear it crank. I'll open the door. Hopefully you're going to hear it crank, but it's not going to start. Yeah? You can hear that? Great, I'm happy that I managed to recreate the problem, because often when you're filming you can't get it to act up. So I'm glad that it did act up then. So now I'm just going to try it a few more times, and then you're probably going to see the light's going to come back on, and then it is going to start. See, like now the lights come on, and now I'll open the door again just to compare like with like. It's going to crank and start now. See? So that's the problem basically. So I know it's not a definitive diagnosis, but on these, when you have this kind of intermittent start no start problem, and it corresponds with what's going on with the immobiliser light, like I showed you on the clip earlier, it's almost certainly always the immobiliser pickup antenna that lives just behind here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and change it out for a new one. It's quite easy to do on these. You've got to start by taking off the steering column shroud, but that's quite easy to do. There's a total of 3 screws to remove. Basically one just down here, one just there, and obviously the corresponding one on the other side. Then you've got to remove this kind of rubber ring here that just kind of pulls off like that, and then it's just a matter of unclipping this bit off up that way, and obviously unclipping the bottom bit off. Kind of, I think it just pulls out slightly then down, if I remember correctly. So I'll go ahead and do all that off camera, and I'll come back to you guys in a minute. As you can see, and this actually is the antenna unit here. And to take it off, you just got to start by removing this one retaining screw, which I'm going to go ahead and do now. Okay, so this is the antenna unit here. Undoing this connector is a little bit tricky, because it's kind of like all the way down in there. So you need to sort of try and squeeze one hand in this way, and then the other hand I kind of like squeezed in through the other side, if you see what I mean. That way you can kind of just about get both hands on it and get it undone. Right, so as you saw in the previous clip, I removed this immobiliser antenna coil, and like I said, initially I was thinking I'm just going to replace it, because I have done that before and it has fixed it, and I do know from from other people as well that this is a common problem. But on this occasion I thought, well, before I actually go ahead and replace it, it would be nice if I could verify that it is actually faulty. So as far as I'm aware, these antenna coils are literally just a coil of wire. That's it basically, like two terminals on the connector here, comes in, coils around, back out basically. So I thought, seeing as that's the basic simple design of it, I could just do some resistance testing on it to, you know, see what it's saying basically. So I tested it with the ohmmeter, and the resistance read 0.8 ohms, which I'm not 100% sure, but I believe to be about right. So I thought, well, okay, you know, that's the correct resistance then. So then I thought, well, maybe it's got some kind of like intermittent break in the coil somewhere. So what I did is I tried with the ohmmeter still connected. I just tried kind of just moving the whole thing around, you know, just twisting it around, tapping it, etc., seeing if that resistance value was going to change, and it didn't. So then I thought to myself, well, maybe the actual coil is actually okay. Could it be a problem with the actual connector here? So I had a close look at the connector, and what I did notice was the surface of the metal terminals was ever so slightly kind of like it was matte looking, which I thought was probably a bit oxidized. So what I did was I used the kind of like the old trick of just like connecting it and reconnecting it a couple of times, basically just to make the metal of the terminals move against each other, and therefore just clean themselves a little bit. So I did that, and I thought, well, I'll put it back on and sit, you know, and drive the car for a bit and see what happens. Now that was about a week ago I did that, and I have been using the car quite a bit in that week. I've probably started it at least 20 times, I'd say, and the problem has definitely not come back. So what I think is it was indeed just a bit of oxidation building up on that terminal. So obviously, if after posting this video, you know, the problem does reoccur, what I'll do is I'll update the description, so check the description. But if I haven't updated the description, you can assume that in this case, just cleaning that connector just by you know, connecting and disconnecting it a few times did actually sort it out. So you know, what I would suggest is if you've got a similar problem, you know, try that, and if it's not that, then like I say, usually just replacing this coil fixes it. Is a common problem, and they're not expensive, by the way. They're £30 from the Kia main dealer, and actually if you went online, I'm sure you could probably find it cheaper still. But for the sake of like that kind of money, I would probably just get off the main dealer, me. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. So as always, thank you for watching. If the video was helpful, I would be grateful if you could support the channel by subscribing, and I will hopefully see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.